Sheila just made the ultimate sacrifice. John Finnegan is crossing a dangerous line, and Steffy Forrester Finnegan is about to unleash an apocalyptic rage.
Hello, I'm Emma Bennett from the B&B Spoilers YouTube channel. The ink is dry.
The unthinkable has just happened right before our very eyes. Sheila, the reigning queen of chaos, has officially surrendered. In a move that has sent absolute shockwaves through Los Angeles, Sheila just put pen to paper and signed Deacon Sharp's divorce documents.
No screaming. No throwing furniture. No weapons drawn.
She just signed her marriage away, handing the man she loves over to her biggest rival, Taylor Hayes.
This is a seismic shift in the B&B universe.
For years, we have watched Sheila fight tooth and nail for everything she wants. She destroys anyone who stands in her way.
But this time? She walked away.
She gave Deacon his freedom so he could live happily ever after with Taylor.
Why? What is her endgame?
It all comes down to one singular, burning obsession: John Finnegan and baby Hayes.
Sheila has been on a relentless, desperate mission to prove to Steffy Forrester Finnegan that she is no longer a threat. She wants access to her bloodline. She wants a seat at the family table. And honestly, we have to ask the burning question: is Dr. John Finnegan's wife just being petty at this point? Let's look at the cold, hard facts. In Sheila's defense, she has been on her absolute best behavior for over a year now.
She has kept her distance.
She has played by the rules. And let's not forget the ultimate act of heroism. Sheila literally saved Steffy Forrester's life. Remember the absolute nightmare of Luna Nozawa?
Before Luna died in that horrific, fatal accident, she committed a string of truly evil, vile, and unforgivable acts.
Luna was a complete psychopath who terrorized everyone in her path. When Luna cornered Steffy, when Steffy's life was on the line, who stepped out of the shadows to save her? It wasn't Ridge. It wasn't Liam. It wasn't Finn. It was Sheila.
Sheila put herself in the line of fire to protect the woman who despises her the most.
She saved Steffy from a deceased monster, and what did she get in return? More rejection. More closed doors.
The bold and the beautiful viewers know that Sheila has tried to respect Steffy's ironclad boundaries. She just handed her husband over to Steffy's own mother on a silver platter.
What more does Sheila really have to do to earn a simple playdate with Finn and Hayes once a month? Does she have to move mountains? Does she have to perform miracles? This week, the drama kicks into high gear as Sheila takes her case directly to the source. She marches right into the hospital. She walks right into Finn's office.
And she pleads for her life. Sheila looks her son in the eye and lays all her cards on the table. She tells him about the divorce papers.
She tells him she let Deacon go.
She tells him she spared Taylor Hayes.
And Finn? Finn is absolutely stunned.
Dr. John Finnegan's loyalty to his wife, Queen Steffy, is endearing, but right now, his armor is cracking.
He looks at his biological mother, and he doesn't see a monster. He sees a woman who is trying.
He sees a woman who just made a massive personal sacrifice.
Finn is shocked.
He is genuinely impressed.
He cannot believe that Sheila signed those papers without putting up a massive fight. He cannot believe she didn't attack Taylor. In Finn's mind, this is the ultimate proof.
This is the smoking gun that Sheila has finally, truly changed.
The emotional pull is too strong. The biological bond is roaring back to life.
They share a massive, emotional hug right there in the hospital office. Finn makes a dangerous promise.
He agrees to go to bat for her. He agrees to take on the most formidable force in Los Angeles, his own wife. Finn leaves the hospital on a mission.
He is determined to change Steffy's mind.
He drives back to the Cliff House, rehearsing his speech. He thinks logic will win.
He thinks Steffy will see the sacrifice Sheila just made.
He is walking straight into a buzzsaw. The moment Finn walks through the door, the tension is palpable. Steffy is there. She is calm. She is unsuspecting. Finn drops the bomb. He tells her Sheila came to see him.
Instantly, the temperature in the room plummets to freezing. Steffy's eyes go dark. Her jaw clenches. The panic and the fury begin to rise. She demands to know what the psycho wanted. Finn tries to soften the blow. He explains the divorce. He explains how Sheila spared Taylor. He tells Steffy that Sheila has turned over a new leaf. And then, he crosses the ultimate line in the sand. Finn looks his wife in the eye and says it is time to consider letting Sheila into their lives. Boom! The explosion is catastrophic. Talking to Steffy about Sheila is like talking to a brick wall. But this isn't just a brick wall. This is a brick wall armed with explosives. Steffy does not just say no. She erupts. She unleashes a verbal assault so fierce it shakes the very foundation of the cliff house. She is absolutely livid. How dare Finn defend his psycho mother? How dare he bring her name into this house? Steffy reminds him of the bullets. She reminds him of the alley. She reminds him of the years of terror, manipulation, and bloodshed. Finn tries to interject. He brings up Luna Nozawa. He reminds Steffy that Sheila saved her life from that evil, deceased psychopath. Steffy doesn't care. Saving her from Luna does not erase decades of trauma. Signing a divorce paper does not magically cure a sociopath. Steffy is not backing down on her Sheila ban. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Even if Sheila spared Taylor, Steffy does not care. She draws a massive, non-negotiable line in the sand. She issues a brutal, marriage-shattering ultimatum. It is me or her, Finn. You choose your wife, or you choose your psycho mother. Finn is completely backed into a corner. He thought he could play peacemaker. He thought he could bridge the gap. Instead, he has just ignited World War III inside his own marriage. Steffy's rage is blinding. Her sense of security is completely shattered. She looks at her husband, and she sees a man who is dangerously susceptible to manipulation. She sees a man who is willing to put their children at risk for a woman who belongs behind bars. Finn is forced into a humiliating, devastating retreat. He has to back down. He has to surrender to his wife's demands. If he pushes this any further, he will lose Steffy forever. But what does this mean for Sheila? Finn now has to deliver the crushing blow. He has to go back to his mother and tell her that her ultimate sacrifice was for nothing. He has to tell her that the door is still slammed shut, locked, and bolted. How is Sheila going to react to this massive rejection? We all know what happens when Sheila gets backed into a corner. When she feels rejected, when she feels abandoned, her darkest, most sinister instincts take over. She played nice. She played by the rules. She gave up Deacon. And it got her absolutely nowhere. Will this rejection push Sheila back to the dark side? Will she unleash a new wave of terror on the Forrester family? And what about Finn? Can he truly turn his back on his mother after she showed him her vulnerable side? Will he start sneaking around behind Steffy's back? Will he risk his entire marriage for supervised visits with a known criminal? The stakes have never been higher. The drama is absolutely off the charts. Every single move from here on out is a matter of life and death. Let's break down the exact psychology of this explosive moment. When Sheila picked up that pen, she wasn't just signing a legal document. She was signing a peace treaty with the universe. She looked Deacon sharp in the eye, the man who stood by her when the whole world wanted her dead. She saw the conflict in his heart. She saw the pull of Taylor Hayes. And instead of lashing out, instead of plotting a sinister revenge scheme, she let him go. This is not the Sheila of the 1990s. This is not the Sheila who shot Taylor. This is a woman desperate for redemption. She handed Deacon his freedom, knowing it would leave her completely alone in the world. But she did it with a calculated risk. She believed this monumental act of grace would be her golden ticket. She believed that if she proved she could walk away from a fight, Steffy would finally see the light. But Steffy Forrester Finnegan does not operate on grace. Steffy operates on survival.
Steffy remembers the blood in the alley. Steffy remembers the terror of waking up in a hospital bed, not knowing if she would ever see her children again. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. Let's talk about the absolute hypocrisy of the Forrester family. They demand perfection from outsiders, but they forgive their own in a heartbeat. Thomas Forrester kept the secret of baby Beth. He chased Emma to her death. And yet, he is welcomed back to family dinners with open arms. Taylor Hayes shot Bill Spencer in cold blood. She left him for dead on the floor of his own mansion. And what happened to Taylor? She gets to date Deacon Sharp and play the victim. But Sheila? Sheila is held to an impossible standard. Yes, Sheila's crimes are legendary. Yes, she is a villain. But she has paid her dues. She has walked the straight and narrow. And she literally took down Luna Nozawa. Let's rewind to that horrific, blood-chilling nightmare. Luna Nozawa was a monster hiding in plain sight. Before that fatal crash took her life, Luna committed acts of pure, unadulterated evil. She was a menace. A sociopath. A threat to the very fabric of Los Angeles. When Luna had Steffy trapped, when Steffy was staring death in the face, who was her guardian angel? It was Sheila. Sheila risked her own life, her own freedom, to save the woman who refuses to let her see her grandson. If saving Steffy's life doesn't buy Sheila a second chance, then what on earth will? Is Steffy just holding a grudge at this point? Is she letting her ego dictate her family's future? Finn certainly thinks so. Let's dive deep into Finn's mindset during that shocking hospital visit. Finn is sitting in his sterile, quiet office, burying himself in medical charts. Suddenly, the door opens. It's Sheila. She doesn't barge in. She doesn't make demands. She stands there, vulnerable, broken, and completely transparent. She tells Finn the news. She signed the papers. She tells him she is officially out of Deacon's life. She tells him that Taylor Hayes has won. Finn watches his mother's face. He looks for the lie. He looks for the manipulation. But all he sees is a mother who is desperately trying to prove her worth. Finn is a healer. He is a doctor. He believes in rehabilitation. He believes that people can change. And right now, the evidence is staring him right in the face. Sheila didn't go on a rampage. She didn't pull a weapon. She chose peace. Finn is overwhelmed with a massive wave of empathy. His biological instincts kick into overdrive. He stands up. He walks around his desk. And he pulls Sheila into a deep, emotional, earth-shattering hug. In that moment, the invisible wall between them completely crumbles. Finn makes a decision that will alter the course of his entire life. He looks Sheila in the eye and tells her he believes her. He tells her he sees her effort. And he promises to be her champion. He promises to go to Steffy and demand that they open the door, just a crack. 2 days a month. Supervised visits. That's all she is asking for. It seems so reasonable to Finn. It seems like the logical next step in their healing journey. But Finn is completely blind to the trauma that lives inside his wife's bones. He leaves the hospital, his heart full of hope. He drives along the Pacific Coast Highway, the sun setting over the ocean. He is preparing the ultimate pitch. He knows Steffy is stubborn, but he believes his love can soften her edges. He pulls into the driveway of the Cliff House. He takes a deep breath. He opens the door. Steffy is in the living room. The kids are asleep. The house is quiet. It is the calm before the absolute storm. Finn walks over to his wife. He takes her hands. He looks deeply into her eyes, trying to convey his sincerity. He says the words that will ignite the explosion. Sheila came to see me today. Instantly, Steffy snatches her hands away. She takes a step back, as if she has just been burned by a hot iron. Her eyes widen. Her breathing accelerates. The trauma response is immediate and violent. What did she want?
Steffy demands, her voice trembling with barely suppressed rage. Finn tries to keep his voice calm. He tries to control the narrative. He tells her about the divorce. He tells her about Deacon and Taylor. He emphasizes how peaceful Sheila was. How she surrendered without a fight. He uses words like growth, change, and redemption. Steffy is staring at him like he has completely lost his mind. She cannot believe what she is hearing. Her husband, the man who is supposed to protect her, is standing in their living room, reading a PR script for the woman who shot them both. Finn pushes forward. He makes the fatal error. He says, "I think it's time that we consider letting Sheila into our lives." The silence that follows is deafening. For one split second, the entire world stops spinning. And then, the volcano erupts. Steffy unleashes a scream of pure, unadulterated fury. "No," she roars, her voice echoing off the walls of the cliff house. "Absolutely not. Never. Not in this lifetime." She starts pacing the room like a caged tiger. She throws her hands in the air, her face flushed with apocalyptic rage. "Are you out of your mind, Finn? Are you actually standing here defending that psychopath?" Finn tries to interrupt. "Steffy, please, just listen to me." "Listen to you?" Steffy fires back, stepping right into his personal space, her eyes blazing with hellfire. "Listen to you defend the woman who put a bullet in your chest? The woman who left us for dead in a filthy alley?" Finn holds his ground. He brings out his trump card. "She saved your life, Steffy. When Luna Nozawa was going to end you, Sheila stepped in. She saved you from that evil monster." Steffy lets out a harsh, bitter laugh that chills Finn to the bone. "You think that changes anything? You think saving me from Luna suddenly wipes her slate clean?" Steffy points a trembling finger right at Finn's chest. "Luna was a monster, yes. But Sheila is the devil herself. And I will not let the devil near my children." Finn is desperate. He is pleading now. "Just 2 days a month, Steffy. Supervised. I will be there the entire time. She just wants to know her grandson." Steffy transforms into an immovable object. She becomes a fortress of ice and steel. "Read my lips, John Finnegan," she whispers, her voice dropping to a terrifying, deadly register. "She is not allowed anywhere near my family. Not ever." Finn stares at his wife, completely shell-shocked. He has never seen her this cold, this resolute. Steffy isn't just angry. She is laying down the absolute law of the land. "We have been over this," Steffy continues, her voice dripping with venom. "I gave you an ultimatum. I told you that if you let that woman back into your life, you lose me." Finn swallows hard. The reality of the situation is crashing down on him like a tidal wave. "Are you really going to throw our marriage away over this?" he asks, his voice cracking. "I am protecting my children." Steffy screams back. "And if you are too blind, too manipulated, too weak to see the danger she poses, then yes. I will do whatever it takes to keep Hayes and Kelly safe. Even if it means protecting them from you." The words hit Finn like a physical blow. Protecting them from him? Has it really come to this? Has his empathy for his mother turned him into a threat in his own wife's eyes? Finn is completely paralyzed. He is caught between the woman who gave him life and the woman who gives his life meaning. But Steffy leaves absolutely no room for debate. She is a brick wall. She points to the door. "You need to make a choice, Finn. Right here. Right now. You choose your wife, or you choose Sheila. But you cannot have both." The tension is absolutely suffocating. Finn looks at Steffy's fierce, uncompromising face. He knows she means every single word. If he walks out that door to go to Sheila, he can never come back. His marriage will be over. His family will be shattered. Finn lowers his head. The fight drains out of him. He cannot lose Steffy. He cannot lose his family. He is forced to swallow his pride, crush his own empathy, and surrender to his wife's demands. Okay, Finn whispers, his voice barely audible over the sound of the crashing waves outside. Okay. I choose you. I will always choose you. Steffy doesn't soften. She doesn't hug him. She just stares at him, her eyes still filled with suspicion and fear. Then you need to tell her, Steffy demands. You need to look your mother in the eye and tell her that she is dead to you. That she will never, ever be a part of this family. Finn nods slowly, the weight of the world crushing his shoulders. He has to go back to Sheila. He has to take all the hope he just gave her, and he has to smash it into a million tiny pieces. This is going to be the hardest conversation of his entire life. Let's take another look at the Luna Nozawa factor, because this is the crux of Finn's entire argument. Finn is a man of science, but he is also a man of deep, profound faith in humanity. When he looks at the timeline of events, he sees a clear trajectory of redemption. Luna was not just a passing threat. Luna was a calculated, cold-blooded killer. She manipulated everyone. She destroyed lives. And before that fatal car crash finally ended her reign of terror, she had Steffy dead to rights. Steffy was helpless. Steffy was trapped. If Sheila had not intervened, Steffy would not be standing in that cliff house today. Steffy would be in the ground. Finn cannot comprehend how Steffy can look at the woman who saved her life and still see nothing but evil. To Finn, Sheila's actions during the Luna crisis were the ultimate proof of a mother's love. Sheila didn't save Steffy because she likes her. Sheila saved Steffy because she loves Finn. She knew that if Steffy died, Finn's heart would be destroyed. She acted out of pure, selfless devotion to her son. And now, she has acted out of pure, selfless devotion again by signing those divorce papers. She gave Deacon to Taylor to keep the peace. She surrendered her own happiness to prove she is no longer a disruptor. Finn sees all of this. He feels the weight of his mother's sacrifices. But Steffy is completely blind to it. Steffy only sees the gun in the alley. Steffy only sees the blood on her hands. This fundamental disconnect is tearing their marriage apart at the seams. Finn is realizing that he is married to a woman who is incapable of forgiveness. Steffy is realizing that she is married to a man who is dangerously naive. They are standing on opposite sides of a massive, unbridgeable chasm. Even though Finn surrendered, even though he agreed to banish Sheila, the damage is already done. The trust is broken. Steffy will always wonder if Finn is secretly communicating with his mother. She will always be looking over her shoulder, wondering if Finn is going to betray her again. And Finn will always resent Steffy for forcing him to abandon his own flesh and blood. He will always wonder what could have been if Steffy had just shown a tiny ounce of compassion. This toxic resentment is going to fester. It is going to rot their marriage from the inside out. And while Finn and Steffy are destroying each other from within, Sheila is going to be plotting from the outside. When Finn tells her the bad news, Sheila's heart is going to turn to stone. She is going to realize that Steffy Forrester is the ultimate gatekeeper. And Sheila does not let anyone keep her from what is rightfully hers. The peace treaty is over. The surrender is cancelled. Sheila is going to unleash hell on Los Angeles, and no one is going to be safe. Hold on tight, B&B fans, because the storm of the century is about to make landfall. This plot was pure explosive drama. Thank you so much for watching and reading. I'm Emma Bennett, wishing you a wonderful day.